Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to talk about hair products. So, shampoos, conditioners, the whole shebang. So, styling products, shampoos, all that jazz. Um, this is a really big topic. I don't even totally know where to start. But let's talk about why we want to do this episode.
Yes.
So, I am enraged because I love the product line Oribe. And I saw that Oribe is being sold at Costco. And it really bothers me because as independent stylists that own a salon suite, you can't actually carry Oribe. The people that own it won't allow that unless you have a certain number of people in your salon and that work for you, and also that you order a certain amount every month from them. Is that your understanding, Demetra?
Yeah, when I had opened up my salon before I had salon suites, that was the case. I had tried actually to get Kerastase, which is my favorite when it comes to shampoo and conditioners, not styling products, but for hair care, integrity, the best hands down shampoo and conditioner. And so I wanted to get them in my salon, and I had a 5-person salon. And the minimum basically is what they said in order for us to carry it. You had to have 5 full-time stylists too. So I had a 5-chair salon, but I really only had, there was 4 of us working there and 2 of us were part-time. So you also had to be a full-time employee. You had to, the smallest bundle was a $10,000 package, which means you didn't have a choice. They gave you what they wanted, which is half the time stuff that doesn't even sell or they're least popular. And you had to sell a minimum of, on that package, was $2,500 in retail a month. Again, this is prior to COVID, right? Prices have also gone up. So 2,500 is probably equivalent to probably 3,500 or $5,000 today. Let's just say in product. Needless to say, we couldn't get them because, I mean, 2 people, how are you selling $3,000 worth of product?
Yeah.
You know, so they make it, basically, they make it very difficult for smaller salons or salon suites to carry their products because they do want to keep them in really big, high-end salons.
Yeah.
However, this is where it trumps the whole thing of what I'm saying and what you're saying. So why are you in Costco?
Exactly.
It,
I found it frustrating that I wasn't going to be allowed to carry Oribe because, well, also COVID has changed everything, right? So plenty of people that have been in high-end salons, and fit that demographic are now on their own. It's not
right.
necessarily that the only people with those skills are in high-end salons.
No. Correct.
And also, Oribe Canales was a hairdresser. You know, like I can't imagine that he would be like, oh yeah, let's cut out salon suites and sends a bunch of stuff to Costco. It just seems wrong.
Yeah, it does seem wrong. You know, I am curious. I wonder if someone from Oribe, if they end up listening to our podcast, like, I would really love for them to reach out to us because obviously he's since passed away. And like you said, he was a hairstylist and he would probably be rolling over in his grave right now knowing that his stuff is being sold at Costco. And I know from them, the people that in his team that are running it, I understand it's a business and it's a revenue and they're trying to, right? For them, it's probably easier to go through them. But whatever happened to, you know, these products are designed for your hairstylist to look at the condition of your hair and say, hey, you need X, Y, and Z. You know, now you have anybody going and getting these really nice, potent products as well, right? And they could be using it on the wrong type of hair. Like, I can't tell you how many clients I have that come in that are using reparative products when their hair, yes, is dry and brittle, but they don't need reparative because now they're adding more protein and their hair is just breaking off. You need a moisturizing product. Reparative and moisturizing are 2 totally different things. So someone that sees their hair dry, they're going to get reparative, right? So that's why it's also important to get the information from your hairstylist who has actually analyzed your hair to tell you what products to get. And when you're selling high-end stuff at a Costco or just not in a salon setting, I don't know. I just think it makes for bad hair decisions.
Well,
That's all.
yeah, a lot of product lines really want their products only sold in salons for that very reason. Because if someone's using, you know, say a product line has 5 or 6 different shampoo conditioner sets and someone just picks out whichever one they think is the best and say it doesn't do for them what they want, they're going to say, oh, that line doesn't work well.
Right. That as well. Exactly. It's like, yeah, I totally understand. It's like when Hairstylists was first really, really big, and it's probably between 20 and 25 years ago when I was at the first salon, and we carried it, and, I fell in love with it. At one point, we started seeing it at Walgreens and Target.
Yeah.
And clients were coming in and they're like, hey, I'll just get it there. Not that it was any cheaper. For some other reason, why would you not want to support your salon if it's the exact same price? Because it's the retail price. That never made sense to me. But Hairstylists put a kibosh on it because it was a black market. So what happened was, whether the products were stolen, whatever it was, and then they were sold, Walgreens got in big trouble. And it wasn't at every drugstore or location. It was only at a few. So what they found out that it was actually black marketed, which also means it probably fell off a truck somewhere or was sitting in a warehouse where the product basically started to deteriorate, right?
Or
so
expire.
You're sitting, ready to expire or is expired. And people think, oh, hair products, how do they expire? Well, they do. And especially if they're sitting in sunlight or get exposed and it's hot and cold. So that's what I loved about Hairstylists. They took care of business. They nipped that in the bud immediately. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because at first I'm like, oh my gosh, we're very high-end elite salon. We were like #1 at the time, Chicagoland area. So it was a big deal. You have people coming in saying, well, I could get this at so-and-so. How is it that this is any special?
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to hold to a certain standard and caliber. Now you're like, you don't know what to say. Right, to your clients. You're kind of like, I didn't even know that they were selling that.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for keeping it real and standing behind their product and saying, no, we want our professional hairstylists to give the evaluation because our stuff is very potent and it needs to be in the right hands and directed correctly. So they only sell it to professionals.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, it's such a big game. Now, a quick question. Do you know anything about Oribe Canales?
No, not too much.
So he came out with Oribe, the product line, in 2008. And in 2018, he sold it because he was really sick and he did pass away in 2018.
Yeah.
But he was like a celebrity hairstylist. He was such a big deal in the 80s and 90s, especially in editorial. And he's like really well known for doing hair for fashion shows. And he was good friends with a lot of, big names like Gianni Versace and Lagerfeld and things like that.
Not to cut you off, my ex-boss, the second salon I was at, was good friends with him.
Oh.
Worked side by side with him.
Mm-hmm.
At many hair shows. So he knew him personally.
Yeah.
So at that salon, that's when I was first introduced to Oribe.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty cool because I worked for someone who was side by side with him. So very cool. Yeah.
And everybody has like amazing things to say about him. Great
nothing but good stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was Cuban, originally, I think, from Miami. Anyway, he had salons in New York and Manhattan and Miami. But it is just like, as soon as he sold his brand, the people that bought it have zero interest in hairdressers. And that's what just makes the whole thing sad to me.
Yeah. It is. It is very sad. I know you're very upset about it, and I'm the one that started ranting. Sorry, I just totally
It's okay.
I was like,
No. No, it's fine. And so when I was shopping at Costco, I was on there online. So I was trying to keep track of like what's available online versus, like in the stores. The Oribe stuff is definitely in the stores. They have Dyson hair dryers for the same price that we get them from our distributors. Olaplex, Croc, the flat irons and stuff, and R+Co, which is so exclusive that it's hard to get for hairstylists. Orange.
Yeah, how do they even have it? We can't even get it as hairstylists.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
hard.
I started looking it up. So R+Co is currently owned by, this is 2024, Luxury Brand Partners,
Mm-hmm.
LBP. And so they tend to like take brands that they consider really good and take them to the next trajectory. And then
Mm-hmm.
they usually move on to another company that is smaller that they think they can make huge. So the people at Luxury Brand Partners have very little interest in, from my perspective, selling to hairdressers, which I find shocking. And I know someone who opened a salon or had a salon suite that was big enough to accommodate what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the minimum purchase orders, like per month or per quarter, were just like stifling. And it makes me so mad because listeners, it is a huge deal. Shampoo is a huge deal for your hair, and some people are in the mistaken mindset that like all shampoo is the same. It is definitely not. It is not at all. And I have a couple clients who use Pantene
Mm-hmm.
and don't believe that it's any different. And
Hmm.
their color comes out really fast. Their hair doesn't feel good and doesn't look good unless it is like heat styled, which is in turn making it more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my rant.
Do
Thank you.
No, no, that's okay. Do you also find, since we're talking about products, I can't keep up. There is way too many lines out there. I have clients ask me, "Oh, have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? Have you?" And I'm like, I haven't heard of any of these products. Some I get introduced to by my clients and I love them. And some of them I'm just like, oh, just another one, someone slapping their name on it. You know, you look at the products and read the ingredients. Oh, it's the same thing that five other lines have. They just put their name on it. And it's just gotten, I feel, out of control with how much is really out there. And then, with the internet and everything, we all have access to everything we pretty much want to purchase. And I don't know, it's not that I feel stupid, but clients ask me, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I never even heard of that product. And as a
Hmm.
professional, you shouldn't feel like that. And then you would also wonder, like with Dyson, I think it was a big deal originally that they never approached hairstylists in the beginning when they came out with the dryer.
Yeah.
And I got the dryer when it first came out. I had to be put on a wait list. They were taking orders. I had to pre-buy mine before it even came out. I hadn't even held it. It wasn't even an option, right?
Wow.
And I still bought it. And I can't tell you how many people, because I do love their stuff, and how many people have bought it because of their hairdresser. And I'm just surprised that it took them so long to get on the bandwagon. And people are like, oh, you probably get a great discount. No, people, we get like 10% off. The same thing that you would get when you go to Costco.
Yeah.
We don't get a discount, even though we're
Right.
hairdressers. You would think we would. They now are coming out with a new Dyson dryer, which they have all these hairstylists that tried it and, are talking about, how good it is and so forth. So they're finally jumping on the bandwagon to use us to sell their stuff, which is what most companies should be doing because we are the
Yeah.
professionals, right? You should do that. But in return, how about give us a better discount? Or how about, like, I don't know about you, and I don't know if it's just because we're in suites, we get nothing. If I want to use a product, I have to actually buy it and use it on somebody. We don't get samples anymore. It's a very rare that our distributors give us anything. And if they give us something, it's like a sample size, like in a packet. It's not like what it used to be too, where I think they just don't care anymore because people are
Yeah.
just buying to buy. And they know like a lot of people are not going through their hairdressers anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's
It,
frustrating.
I know. I could go on and on. Like I said, that's a rant in itself too,
Yeah.
Just and again, I don't sell products, so this isn't a rant like, oh, you're taking money out of my pocket at all. It's just frustrating that we use all of their products and buy them constantly and yet get nothing in return.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like what I'm trying to say? It's like, I don't know.
Can we talk real quick about your experience with Dyson?
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
that was horrible. Okay. So,
Okay. I'm sorry. I just told you to tell the story. Now I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
I just want to preemptive let the listeners know here. Demetra has told what, like 50, 100 people to buy a Dyson because she uses it, and she
I mean,
doesn't
that's how
carry
much
them.
of a, right. And
Yeah.
that's how much I like their stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, I owned 3 actual hair dryers, one in the salon, personal use, a backup if mine dies at work. I also have the air wrap now. I have the hair straightener.
Yeah.
I've purchased a lot from them, and I just bought my sister for this past Christmas. This is where the story is going to come in. For the holiday, I wanted to gift them. So I got the one sister air wrap. I got the other one a dryer, right?
And real quick, are the air wraps and the dryers, they're between like 400 to 500, is that right?
The air wrap is $5.99 plus tax.
Okay. Yeah.
$600. And I think I got 10% off, so it was like $60 off or something. I don't know. So I believe I spent maybe $1,500,
Yeah.
right? This time around. Story is they ended up charging me for 3 items, only received the 2. Long story short, the customer service was horrible. And this is my first time experience. Prior to this, I had great experience with Dyson and their service. I have their humidifier, their fan, their heater, their vacuums. So I've always had great customer service. For some reason, I don't know, I had reached out to them, basically letting them know, hey, look, my package says that it arrived, but there was only two of the 3 items in there. And they were saying, well, we show all 3. Okay. And I'm like, well, no. Back and forth. Okay. Then, so long story short, about 3 times a week, which are my days off, I would have to call them. Every time I spoke, this went out for 2.5 months. Okay. So I probably made 15 phone calls to Dyson, between half hour to an hour and a half every time on the phone with them. Because mind you, I was charged $500 for something I did not receive.
Yeah.
$500 is a lot of money, right? And I was getting different stories. Then I called back and it was, oh, the item was on back order. When we get it in stock, it'll be mailed to you. I'm like, well, why was I already charged? Shouldn't I be charged when it's supposed to be shipped out? Then someone else, I would get an email, then I would follow up back. They're like, no, it wasn't on back order. We don't even have this dryer anymore. We're going to refund you. 2 weeks go by, I still don't get a refund. I call. Anyway, long story short, December, I just got my refund in March. It took 3 months to get my money back, over 15 phone calls, and I can show you about 20 different emails.
That's horrible. I can't believe that. I feel like during that whole time, every time I came into your loft space, you were on the phone with Dyson.
Yeah. Do you remember that? It was extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
A lot of waste of time. So left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So. Dyson, shame on you. You owe me.
Yeah. Well, and Dyson, let's pay attention to the hairdressers.
Yeah, seriously. Like if it wasn't for us, you guys probably would not have blown up so much in the dryer industry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We put you on the map. I am taking full credit for that.
Demetra did, for sure.
I like to shop.
Yes.
Needless to say.
Yes. So I just wanted to bring up I hadn't heard of them before. They own tons of brands. Is it Japanese? Anyway, KAL. It sounds like the animal cow, but and they own Goldwell, KMS, and Oribe. And they are the gatekeepers to Oribe.
Yep.
Anyhow, so some of these larger companies will have a professional salon division. So Cow owns Biore, Curel, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of skincare.
I didn't know about those.
Yeah, and beauty brands and stuff.
Skincare too. Okay.
So when we have any sort of communication with them, we are only dealing with Cow's salon division because they have consumer, all these different, categories.
Why do I feel like I'm breathing so heavy? Do you hear me breathing?
Not really. I think it's good that you're breathing.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I mean heavy.
No. Okay, and we have to talk about L'Oreal.
Yes.
L'Oreal Group owns
everything.
Most everything. So L'Oreal owns Hairstylists, of course. That would be their luxury brand. But I was looking it up. Consumer brands that L'Oreal Group has are Garnier, Maybelline, and L'Oreal Paris. So these are all things that you would definitely find in a grocery store or drugstore. But their pro brands are Kerastase, Lancome, Kiehl's, Shu Uemura, and YSL. So Shu Uemura, that's another one I love.
They also have L'Oreal Professional.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I love their curly hairline, just FYI. For my curly hair girls, I just bought, not to cut you off, but their curly shampoo, the mask, and the mousse. Oh my God, it hydrates your hair. I think people who just need hydration and don't have curly hair, you should get it. It's so hydrating. I love it. Okay, sorry.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then so those companies don't deal with us very much. Is what I'm trying to say. And then there's like salon distributors. And then, so we're in Chicago. So Midwest ones that hairdressers all know are businesses called, there's Beautycraft, which is in Wisconsin, Salon Centric, Cosmoprof, and Premier Beauty. And those ones are where you have to have your cosmetology license to shop. It's there. So it's like such a balancing act to find like what products you want to carry and who will distribute them to you in your area. And some of these companies have like contracts where, for example, Unite hair products, I do really, really like them. And you can get them at Premier Beauty. I also noticed you can get them at Beautycraft. So when I was ordering something from Beautycraft, I thought, oh, let me just add in, whatever, because shipping, whatever. So
shipping is ridiculous, by the way.
Is.
Can I just say, because I get from 3 different distributors.
Yeah.
By the time I'm done and just shipping costs, it's $50 a month.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, to me, that's a lot of money.
It is.
And I think it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. But anyway, Beautycraft was telling me they're not allowed to sell Unite to someone in my area because Premier has the contract for it.
Oh.
So it gets very confusing.
Man, this world that we're living in.
I know. And it's like, I mean, I understand like business models, and some of these companies are more business minded than artistic people or necessarily science people. But like, can we not lose the point of why does this stuff exist? Because we're the professionals that deal with hair all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're making it difficult for us to even get.
Yeah.
Because they, on their end, at the end of the day, it's about money.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Yeah.
It's money.
But
yeah, it's messed up.
I was very offended that my jaw dropped. I could not believe Oribe was being sold at Costco. I'm still not over it. I'm mad.
I know. Barbara's mad. Watch out.
What the hell? Costco. Anyway. Do you have, now while we're on the topic of product lines, do you have favorites as far as like, it is hard to find one product line that you just love, love, love. But if you had your perfect, like this hairspray from these people and that shampoo, like what are your favorites, Demetra?
Okay. My favorites. So we're going to start with, and this is crazy because I never ever used hairspray or even on myself. And when I became a hairdresser, hairspray is my #1 product. Crazy to say, and my favorite is Pureology, the soft hairspray.
Okay.
It has UVA, UVB protection, and it comes out dry. So to all my curly hair gals, it won't come out wet. So if we blew out your hair straight, it won't frizz up because it's not a wet spray. And because they have a stronghold liqueur as well.
Lacquer?
Yeah. I mean, why am I thinking about alcohol at 11 in the morning? What the hell?
It's happy hour somewhere.
I know, but it's not Friday yet, girl. Okay. Anyways, to be continued. Yes, Pureology, their soft spray. You can layer it and make it a harder hold, but it's great for every and anybody, not a strong scent. Then Pureology, they also have, it's called Strength Cure. And I use it as like a leave-in conditioner. It's really good for extremely highlighted, damaged hair. It acts as a filler in the hair. right? So before I go to blow dry them or even cut them, I spray it in actually as like the leave-in so that when I'm cutting their hair, it creates a barrier. And when I'm combing it, it keeps the hair and stays wet because really, really highlighted hair has a tendency to dry out really quick. Love
What's
the
that
Strength
called
Cure.
again?
Strength Cure. And it comes in a little blue bottle. It's a little spray. It's a leave-in. Next is from Olaplex. I love their number 6. It is their moisturizing smoothing product. It's a leave-in for blowout. There's no hole and it is so hydrating. Very little goes a long way. I've even used it on fine hair clients. I do very little or really coarse people. I love it. It makes the blowout super smooth. Your hair feels amazing. 4th product, Moroccan Oil. Still my favorite out of all the oils that are out there. Moroccan Oil is still my favorite.
Okay.
Favorite oil. Dissipates into the hair within 10 minutes and just does what it's supposed to do. Doesn't sit on top of the cuticle. Is not, I feel like most oils are just oily. This one, it's like, it feels like it's real oil, but yet your hair doesn't get oily.
Yeah, it's like refined. Like it goes in the hair strand rather than sitting on top.
Correct. And it's a great blowout. Like if you want to blow out and you want some heat protection, you can actually, it's not meant just for dry hair. Then we have from Goldwell, the soft volumizing spray. Hands down, one of my favorite products. I use it on anybody and everybody. Spray it at the roots. It gives the best blowout, soft body. Doesn't feel like there's anything in your hair. And I would say my last product, my go-to, is the dry texture spray from Living Proof. I also like to use it as my dry shampoo, but it's a lot lighter than a dry shampoo, but it adds and it gives me a lot of texture. So if my hair gets really soft after I blow it out, it's curly, but when I blow it out straight, it gets really flat because I have a lot of hair, but it's fine in texture. So if I'm going out, let's say that night, I spray it all over to make my hair feel like more oomph. I love it. It's a great spray. Roots, ends. So I would say those are like my 5 favorite products.
Nice.
How about you?
Love Royal Blowout from Oribe. And their dry texture spray is awesome.
Yeah. Another texture spray. Theirs is amazing.
Yeah. I really like from IGK. They have a dry shampoo that has charcoal in it. And it is awesome because I feel like my hair looks really oily very easily because it's so fine. And I love that one, IGK.
Okay, IGK. Wow, okay.
And right now I'm carrying a line that I love called Oz. It's pronounced Oz, A-Z.
Okay.
Oz Haircare. And it smells so good. So
it does smell good. I always smell it when you're spraying it. I'm like, what is that smell? I'm like, oh, Barbara.
It is delish.
Yeah.
Almost good enough
smells
to eat.
Really nice. Yeah.
And their oil, they have hair oil that I love. And they have a texture spray that I do love. I mean, it smells amazing.
Okay.
And very comparable, I would say, to Oribe. What else? I've heard a lot about, I think it's Verb. They have like ghost oil and ghost shampoo. Have you heard of this?
Heard of it. I don't know anything about it. I've never used it.
Apparently, it's meant to feel like there's nothing in your hair. I was like, why is it?
Then what's the point?
What's a ghost?
I mean, right? You don't want to feel like you have a ton of shit in your hair, but maybe I don't know. It's got to have a purpose. It's got to be doing something for your hair.
Yeah.
Right.
But I really love the shampoos from Oz and Oribe. I do really like them. I like the shampoo and conditioners in Oz because there's only 2, and it's kind of nice because I do appreciate brands where they don't have tons of SKUs. So like rather than having 8 to 10 different shampoos, they have 2. Like one.
I never heard of that before. So what are the 2?
One is for more fine hair. And the other is for more dry or like say they have more coarse hair that can handle the moisture.
Okay.
But they have everything in them that you would want. Do you know what I mean?
Color safe.
They're color safe, sulfate free, paraben free, no testing on animals. Like it's just everything. And also they have like in their oil, in their shampoos, everything has UV protection in it. So you're always getting a coating.
I
of
love
that.
that.
And
Yeah, that's
all
good.
the products have the styling products that are meant to go on your hair when your hair is wet, like damp before you style. They all have heat protection because
Mm,
when do you not? You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, totally.
I suppose when you air dry, that's the answer. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I do really love that. Anyway, I could go on and on, I think, about favorite products because there are a lot.
Well, yeah, there's so much that I love. But that's what I try to say. The one good thing about being at the suites, I can pick and choose,
Sure.
cherry pick the ones I want. You know, like if I like their hairspray, but I like their texture spray. I like their oil or their moisturizer or their, so it's kind of nice. I'm not stuck with just 2 to 3 lines that, like, when I worked for a big salon, they can only carry so much or, you know.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is then you're having to track them down, use all these different distributors. And if you don't have time to go to them, you're spending a lot of money on shipping every month. I
Yes.
mean, by the time I'm done, it's over $600 in shipping cost a year.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, and I just get frustrated when some of these lines make it so difficult for professionals to get the products,
Yeah.
because that's just creating this whole dynamic where hairstylists are like, oh yeah, this is a great one. Go buy it at Ulta or Sephora. Like those are the people
Yeah.
really that are carrying everything.
Yeah.
Anyhow, oh the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, so there will probably be a part 2 to this, but this is our first episode about hair products, our frustrations. Yes, and we're going to tag Cow, Oribe, and Dyson.
yeah. They need to listen to this episode.
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.